Good day, Chronicle for December 5, 2022. The RF armed forces again delivered massive strikes against the critical infrastructure of Ukraine. Enemy targets in Vinnitsa, Cherkasy, Khmelnytsky, Poltava, Kyiv, Sumy, Kharkiv, Zaporozhye, Dnepropetrovsk, Mykolaiv and Odessa regions were hit. During a raid in the vicinity of the Moldovan city of Briceni, an upper stage of a rocket, presumably fired from the Ukrainian S-300 air defense system, fell. Saratov and Ryazan regions. Ukrainian drones attacked two airfields based on strategic aviation of the Russian Aerospace Forces in Engels and Ryazan. 3 servicemen of the Russian armed forces were killed and 6 were injured. Kursk region. The enemy fired at the border villages of Tetkino and Guevo. Residential buildings and a gas pipeline were damaged. There are no victims or injured. Starobelsk direction. On the Kupiansko-Svatovsky sector, the armed forces of Ukraine attacked the positions of the RF armed forces in the direction of Lyman first, but they could not achieve visible success. On the Lymansky sector, Ukrainian units launched an offensive towards Krasnopopovka and Ploshchanka. Russian troops repulsed the enemy attacks, forcing him to retreat to his original lines with losses. Soledar direction. On the Lysychansk sector, units of the RF armed forces are fighting in the vicinity of Belogorovka. Russian artillery and aviation strike at enemy positions in the area of the settlement. In the Soledar sector, Russian troops broke through the defensive lines of the 10th Guards Rifle Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, occupying 2 platoon strongholds in Yakovlivka and 3 in Belogorovka. In the Bakhmut sector, assault detachments of the Wagner PMC pushed through the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine in Opatny and in the southeast of Bakhmut. At the same time, Russian units are storming the positions of Ukrainian formations on the outskirts of Kloshchivka. On the Turetsky section of the RF armed forces, they advance at the Sumy-Novgorodsky line. Assault detachments of the armed forces of Ukraine made an attempt to break through the defense of Russian troops in the vicinity of Pivnikny. The units of the RF armed forces repulsed the attack. The enemy, having lost 20 people killed and wounded, retreated. Lugansk People's Republic. At night, Ukrainian formations fired rockets from the HIMARS MLRS at civilian facilities in Olchevsk. Residential buildings, educational buildings, dormitories and a library were damaged. 10 people died and 28 were injured. In the afternoon, the enemy from rocket artillery attacked Verbovka. 3 civilians were injured. Donetsk direction. Russian motorized rifle units continue to fight with the armed forces of Ukraine in the center of Mariinka. Ukrainian formations from cannon and rocket artillery fired at the settlements of the Donetsk agglomeration, including residential buildings and civilian facilities in Donetsk. At least 4 civilians were killed. Zaporozhye direction. The armed forces of the Russian Federation hit the shop of the high-voltage equipment plant in Zaporozhye, which produced high-voltage transformers. The strike on the object will make it difficult to restore the infrastructure damaged during the raid. Southern Front, Kherson direction. Units of the armed forces of Ukraine from mortars fired at the city of Tavrisk. Residential buildings, a school, a gas pipeline and a power line were damaged. Civilians were not hurt. See you soon.